So, hello everyone, and welcome back to some more Aviary Attorney on another Advent calendar day. So, let's see. I hope this continues nicely from this. If it doesn't, then either I have to replay or something, but hopefully it continues nicely so that we can go to the next episode, next case nicely. And I hope you are having a nice day. Let's go. Do I remember the Julie Revolution? Of course. How could I ever forget? The chanting, the violence, the smell of gunpowder. So I guess the revolution did definitely come. The 3 glorious days. Unless this is the past rather than the future. I am unsure. A lot of soldiers and a lot of blood. Chaos in Paris. Act 3, The Sleeping City. Sleeping little city. I can't believe he's keeping work again. Yeah, ... I swear, if I find that moping bird brain at Licona Choyox, I'm sure he will come here. There you go. Ah, finally, good morning, Falcon. Morning, Spot. No, wait, it's 2 in the afternoon. That means the official greeting is... Good afternoon? Where the hell have you been, lazy bones? Ugh, it's far too early for this level of roasting past the Cabernet Sauvignon. No way, we've got important business to discuss and I can't do that if you're half drunk. Mon Dieu, give me a break. I haven't had a good night's sleep since the trial. Something on your mind? Actually, yes. It was what the wolf judge said about the revolution. So not something that has happened yet, but rather what we have been at least thinking. Maybe that was our dream that we saw. Pshaw, that guy was off his rocker. And besides, if we worried about every potential friend's revolution, we would never get any work done at all. Am I right or am I right? ... Yeah, maybe you're right. Worrying doesn't do us any good. Tell me about the important business you wanted to discuss. Oh yeah, the business. A letter. This one's from the Paris Police Department. Fancy facsimile and everything. That is indeed a fancy seal. Well, go ahead, Sparrowson. You may have the honors. All right. Monsieur Falcon, meet me on the rooftop cafe opposite of the Place de la Bastille. I have a proposal. Regards, Inspector Volerty. Wow, Inspector Volerty. That's it. How terse. If it is actually the Inspector Volerty, but probably it is. I do wonder what he's gonna say. A proposal from the Inspector? Interesting. Well, we've been doing a better job than they, at least partially. On the other hand, the first person that we were defending should have gone into the prison, but... Do you have any idea what sort of a proposal he has in mind? Not a clue. So, are we going to meet him and find out? It's such an interesting thing that in each and every case we could just say, nope, not gonna do that. Nope, not gonna take that case. So, I wonder how that would go if we would just say no, but we may as well. Yes, I don't know how to say no. I don't know what sort of proposal the inspector has in mind, but we would be foolish to reject it without even hearing him out. Grab your goat. Alright, no dilly-dallying, I like it. Oh, but before I forget, I need to drop by the hospital at some point. What did you eat this time? No, it's not like that. Well, not entirely. I need to pay for the bill from my last visit. Yeah, I was thinking that's probably still the case. Oh, that's reasonable. Sure, we can pay a visit, but the inspector's call should take priority, I think. Fine. Inspector first. Place de la Bastille. A rooftop cafe. Overlooking the Bastille Square is the perfect spot for a friendly rendezvous. Rendezvous and stuff. Brr. It's far too cold to be meeting on a rooftop cafe. Why couldn't the inspector have chosen a comfier location? Who knows, maybe the inspector likes the view because it reminds him of his days guarding the old Bastille under the ancient regime. Wait, you think the inspector worked here during the ancient regime? Do you think that's how he got his war wounds? It was a joke, Sparrow's son. I'm pretty sure the inspector isn't that old. Well. Were we both invited? Severin, what are you doing here? Settle down, JJ. Just like you, I was invited here by the inspector. What could he want with all three of us? It is hardly unusual for the lawyers and police of France to collaborate. The inspector probably has a big investigative role that requires all hands on deck. A big investigative role? Sounds juicy. Oh, by the by, did you hear what happened to Judge Romulus? No, we haven't. At least I haven't heard. No, what? Oh God, why did you let him escape? He escaped from prison before we could even try him. Rumor has it that the fool bribed his cellkeeper and then fled for the hills. So he escaped justice. Of course, if someone is guilty, then they just escape justice. For now, but don't fret, nobody manages to escape the long arm of the law forever. Speaking of which... Ah, good, you're all here. I don't remember exactly how I voiced him. I think I've changed it a little bit. I think I'll do a more normal voice for him. Excuse me, Monsieur, Mr. Inspector Folerty, sir. Falcon and I were wondering, did you get your injuries while defending the old Bastille prison? No, we didn't really wonder that. Don't drag me into this, you fool. I was joking. You impudent whelps. I'm not that old. I sustained these injuries when in the July Revolution 18 years ago. So July Revolution was 18 years ago. That's the vision we saw before, so to speak. I was a royal guard, just a lowly peon. The air was thick with gunpowder and blood. Oh, great. Now you've set him off. We were given the order to charge at the rebel barricade. My comrades and I fastened our bayonets. Suddenly, boom! Without warning, a gunpowder keg exploded. My comrades were dead. I was sadly wounded. That's when I looked up and saw a looming figure standing between the gargoyles of Notre Dame. It was the withered young killer himself. This is a fascinating story, Inspector, but perhaps you could tell us why we are here? Oh, right, of course. Why we are here. What I am about to tell you is to remain strictly confidential, you understand? It's a matter of national security. As you have probably heard, France is under threat from a certain heinous group. So, revolutionaries? Peepsters? Revolutionaries. Indeed, rebels. There's a storm brewing in the shadows of Paris. We, the Paris Police Department, have known about it for months. No, years. In every tavern and on every street corner, people talk of organizing protests and overthrowing the government. The king has ordered for public gatherings to be dispersed and newspapers to be censored, but the whispers of dissent remain. No surprise there. If you take away an angry citizen's ability to speak, they will just get even angrier. Indeed, it's a foolish thing to do. Indeed, and that's why it's paramount that we find and strike at the heart of the rebel group as soon as possible. For that I need your help. What exactly do you want us to do? Interview citizens, scout locations, find the secret rebel meeting location that has escaped the eyes of the police. Do we have any leads? Just one. We know that the rebels are having weapons supplied to them by a crooked merchant who is only referred to as the Croque Monsieur. Like the sandwich? What? The croque monsieur. It's a hot sandwich, cheese, ham, a little bechamel, throw on some peppers if it's a Friday night. This has nothing to do with sandwiches. Croque monsieur is the alias of an accomplished and notoriously dangerous arms dealer. In any case, that's everything the Parisian police know. That's everything. That's all you have to demonstrate after years of tracking. ... They suck. Naturally, as a public prosecutor, it is my duty to help the police with their investigative work. I would be honored to lend any and all assistance. Suck up. That's very good to hear, Monsieur Cocorico. But what about you, Falcon? Well, to be honest, Inspector, I don't quite understand why you are asking me. I'm a private defense attorney. I work for citizens who get stuck in legal trouble. Rebel hunting isn't quite my forte. You want to know why I am asking you? Look around you, Falcon. We are surrounded by corruption and incompetence. The judges are bloodthirsty fools. At least that one definitely was. The jailers are thief and ravens. Well, the jailer is a raven. But is it a thief and raven? I don't know. And the National Guards are sitting ducks. As in you, for example, if you are yourself a duck. But I don't think you're a duck, but... Look at the slackers and talents who supposedly protect and serve this country. Nobody cares about justice anymore. You saw my shameful display at the previous trials. Those are the results I produce with imbeciles to assist me. But you three, you care. Falcon, I saw you defending Dame Catalina and Prince Juan. I heard of your escapees around the city, frantically collecting evidence and interviewing witnesses. Frankly, you did more investigative work over the last month than I've seen any policeman do in a year. That's a lot. Not including myself, of course. Definitely not. I do better. But Dame Catalina... It doesn't matter. You have passion and conviction, and you aren't a total bird brain. By my book, that makes you a fantastic investigator, even if that is not in your job description. So what do you say? Do you want to sit around your office, twiddling your thumbs until another pointless job offer falls into your lap? Or do you want to take this opportunity to do something great and help us track down the animals who wish to harm our glorious nation? Now that is a big question. Where do I wanna be leading us? Like, at least what I quickly read a little bit. I didn't read anything like spoilers otherwise, but that there are indeed multiple endings nonetheless for this, from what I understood anyways. So the decisions do indeed matter what we choose. I do wonder where both of these, like all of these things will be leading us. It's a problem that I think there is good reasons for some of the rebels at least to be against this country. So is it a K-rate country? I think it definitely has a lot of issues, and it's not even trying to solve them very well when it's just trying to stop the ones that are talking about the problems to be just like, shut up. The problems can't be talked about and so on. So it's not great in a lot of ways, like that for example. But is it that bad that there should be a revolution that will be bloody and cause a lot of death and innocent people to most likely die too? Yeah, it's a little bit of a problem. French Revolution. I don't know. I don't know which side I should choose. But I guess, like, especially the way he talks, it just does feel wrong to say no. So I would, I guess, say I would be honored to help my country, even though it feels a little bit like, should I really do this? But I don't know what else to do. It's difficult for me to say no. I'm bad at saying no's. So I would be honored to help my country. I would be honored to help my country, Inspector. Consider us on board. Excellent, that's what I wanted to hear. I had no idea you were such a patriot, JJ. There's nothing wrong with a little national pride. Yeah, pride is fine and all, but do we get any compensation for this? Of course, here's 50 francs. You will receive another 50 upon the completion of your work. 50 francs? Psh, we're being undersold. Hush, Barrow-san, this is a great opportunity. I don't want to keep you any longer than necessary. You already have all the key facts of the investigation. Find the list of croque monsieur. Find where the rebels are congregating. Those are your 2 tasks. I will check up on your progress in 3 weeks' time. Okay, 3 weeks, that's a lot of time. See what you can accomplish by then. I'll be doing my own independent investigation into the rebel group, JJ, so I suppose this is a competition of sorts. ... Try to keep up with me. Don't make me laugh, Severin. I'll have all the rebel leaders behind bars before you even have your first suspect. Come on, Sparrow-san, we have a croque monsieur to hunt. Okay, let's go. Heh, I knew a little competition would kick those bird brains into gear. So was this just all a plan and you're yourself not even gonna do this? Well, Inspector, this has been a productive meeting. I should probably start my investigation into croque monsieur too. Not so fast, Kokoriko. There's something else we need to discuss. But what the heck are they gonna discuss then? Why? Why are they doing this to me? So many places we can go. We can go everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Let's visit Les Halles first when that's the only place we can go, plus AA offices where we can go without a day passing by. Here for some shopping, are we? Or is it interview time? I guess this is a good place to ask about rebel uprising as anywhere else. Actually, I was thinking of Mademoiselle Sukne. I know she's not here now, but the area just reminds me of her. Oh, the flower seller. I think she moved away, Falcon. Didn't she say she was visiting her parents in Vienna? Oh, yeah, right. Let's move. We have a lot to do. But indeed, that is the place. Where was the hospital? Is it this? No, Immaculate Garden. That's a completely different place after all. Because we were supposed to go and pay the thing. I'm just like trying to look. What is that place? Medical care. So the Petit Salpêtrière Hospital is becoming renowned for its progressive attitudes towards medical care. Might as well visit there first when we were supposed to, though I don't know if we got enough cash. Hopes we do. There he is, Sparrow-san. Go ahead, say what you need to say. Excuse me, Dr. Falret. I just wanted to thank you for, giving me an antidote and making me well and stuff. It's no trouble at all, Sparrow-san, wasn't it? Of course, there's a small matter of the theft. Right. Let's see. 1 hospital bed, 1 dose of specialized antidote, expert medical care from the attending physician. The total comes to 500 francs. That's a lot of cash. I don't have even remotely that much. 500 francs? That's like... I was hoping that at least it would be like close to 100 or something, but how the heck would I have that much? Falcon, can I get an advance on this month's pay and the next month and maybe the month after? Calm down, Sparrow-san. I'm sure the doctor's a reasonable man. He will surely allow you to pay in installments. Of course, of course. Oh, thank goodness. With my current wages, I would be able to fully pay off the debt by the 20th century. Hey, your pay isn't that bad. No, there's no need for quibbling. I have a suggestion. You messieurs are lawyers, yes. If you do some pro bono work for me, I may be able to knock the bill down a little. Maybe to say 100 francs. That's reasonable. We could actually pay that. Oh, that sounds so much more manageable. What kind of legal work do you have in mind? Oh dear, debt collection. I don't know if that's a nice thing to do, but... Debt collection. It sounds bold. 500 freaking francs. It's a freaking lot of money. But of course, if there's a lot of people in debt, but on the other hand, if they are also in problems with money, which is the case with pretty much everyone in here, then, yeah. It does sound time-consuming, but sure, sounds like fun. That actually sounds quite fun. It will be a nice change from this croque monsieur nonsense. Yes, give us the details, Doctor. There is a man I treated for a small injury a couple of years ago. He's been evading my attempts at collecting on his bill ever since. I wouldn't normally pursue medical bills so aggressively, but I know that the man is a successful inventor. He can easily afford to front the bill. I would greatly appreciate if you would pay him a visit and strong-arm him into loosening his purse strings. Well, I'm not making any promises, but maybe we can swing by the inventor's house if we have a free minute. Thanks, Falcon. And thank you, Doctor. We will dedicate every waking moment to collecting this debt. Wait, I didn't agree to that. Every waking moment. Great. I didn't say that every waking moment. Well, at least we visited there, but where the heck do we go then? That's an amazing question. I think I would like to go into this... Oh, there's the engineer. Madame Quenel's, like, that would be a reasonable place to go and visit. I just remembered it was here, but these names are so that I don't remember everything that, okay, what is this and this? I know this place, this one, of course, because it's the library, so on and forth, this place, but, like, not all of them immediately. But yeah, Madame Quenel, let's go and visit in the tavern. Maybe I need to do some gambling too. No drinking, Pat Falcon. Calm down, Sparrowson, I'm just here for information. Taverns are the first place people go to moan about the government. Therefore, they are perfect rebel breeding grounds. Oh, that makes sense. Ah, it's you two. What will it be today? Wine or beer? I'm afraid it's just questions for now, Madame Quenel. We're looking for a man called the Croque Monsieur. Have you seen him? No, that name doesn't sound familiar at all. Okay, have you heard of any of your patrons bad-mouthing the government? Of course, this is a tavern, hon. If people couldn't come here to croak and talk politics, where else could they go? That's true, but has anyone stood out? Well... Just between you and me, the bear on the drinking floor have been acting very shifty. Now, I'm not saying they aren't rebels, but they ain't doing far too much talking and not enough drinking, if you know what I mean. That might mean that they're not drinking as much as you would like. I think I do. Thank you, madame. Let's see where to go. Oh, let's visit the drinking room first, and maybe I will visit the guard room afterwards, but let's see. It's these two. And what's with the Mademoiselle told me to put the order in? No idea where she's going to keep him, though. Piero, you know that she hates being called Mademoiselle. You're going to get stuck with guard duty again. Oh, right you are. The Madame it is then. Wait, she ain't married, is she? So why do we have to call her Madame? Why don't you ask her yourself? No way. She would straight up eat me alive if I asked that directly. Wait, hush up. Do you smell that? It smells like... eavesdroppers. Can I help you, messieurs? What were you two talking about? What were you two just talking about before we rudely interrupted? Well, I would like to include you in your conversation, but to be perfectly honest, I don't think that's any of your business. It is our business. We want to join the rebels. That just feels so freaking like just straightforward. You're right, it's not our business. I suppose it isn't our business. I apologize for asking, monsieur. Quite alright, no harm done. Have you heard of the Croque Monsieur? Monsieurs, have you heard of a man called... Falcon Fate? There's a slight chance that these guys might be rebels, right? So if we ask directly, they might be scared off. Good point. I'll try to keep it subtle. Tell me everything, just straight up. Where did you get the swanky hat? Monsieur, where did you get that swanky hat? This old thing, just a regular cap I bought from... Oh, man! Someone finally noticed me also, Matt. Your awesome hat, eh? I waited years for someone to notice it. Look at this thing. Who's the praise, Polly? In the praise, Polly. I am the prettiest Polly. Anyway, I bought it from the Mademoiselle in Les Halles. I think the shop was called Roos Odds and Ends or some sauce. Fantastic. Thank you, monsieur. Nice, Falcon. Now you can buy a swanky hat too. ... But we're no closer to uncovering the mystery of the croak, monsieur. Oh, right. So, where did you get that rifle? Monsieur, I see you are carrying a rifle. Evidently. Who manufactured it? Good question. See, most hunters around here are carrying old friends several years, but this beauty is something special. See, it's American, from the Springfield Armory, model 1812, percussion lock firing mechanism. An American musket, you say? That's certainly quite special. It must have been hard to procure. It's true that you can buy guns of this quality from standard street sellers, but if you know the right people... Please go on. Well... Okay, listen carefully. You didn't hear it from me. But to me, the croak, monsieur. ... Actually, it would be foolish for me to explain in public. It would be much easier if you just take this. The Book of Judges. What is this? Some sort of a law book? The book subject is not important, just take it. Oh, I see. It's the Book of Judges from the Bible, Old Testament stories of gods, mighty people and stuff. I appreciate the gift, monsieur, but I'm not religious. Don't be a fool, Falcon. Just take the goddamn book. Nor am I. Then why are you? Just take it, you idiot. Bible books are what we used to pass around in goat phrases, don't we? Goat phrases? Piero, please, I'm trying to be low-key and I can't do that if you're mouthing off with that big beak of yours. Right you are. Try to forget what my friend said. Just, with a little searching and with the contents of that good book, you should be able to get what you desire. Is that a religious metaphor? No, it's not. My god, people. No, monsieur, I'm being very literal. The Book of Judges has been added. Well, thank you very much for the gift, monsieur. But to be honest, I have no idea how this is supposed to lead me to our gun salesman. Ah, I see. Well, I hear that there is an excellent friar who performs Bible readings at Notre Dame Cathedral. Eh? Perhaps if you show the man your new book, he will be able to find you a particularly spiritual passage. Are you sure that this isn't all a religious metaphor? I feel like you're trying to convert me. I assure you, I'm as secular as they come, monsieur. I'm as secular. Friar at Notre Dame Cathedral. Thank you, monsieur. I'll make a note. Was there something else that you wanted? That's all. Thanks, guys. Thank you for your assistance, messieurs. It's nothing. Got out of here already. ... You two seem like decent fellows. You shouldn't get involved in this rebellion business. Just do whatever you need to do with the croak, monsieur, and get out of Paris. That's what a smart person would do. I appreciate the advice, monsieur. Okay, great. Well, let's check the guard room. Maybe I can play some more cards and lose all my cash. Ah, the big fellow has returned here to play some cards, monsieur. Abso-freaking-lutely. Was it 50 at once, so I wouldn't even have 100. Very well then, do you know how to play? Yes. Yes, you're right. Don't get cocky, Falcon. Very good. I shall be the dealer. It will be 5 francs per game. 5 francs. Okay, it was at least 5 francs per game, not 50 per game. I was like, I didn't... Of course it couldn't be 50. I started with 50, I think. No, I started with 10. Yeah, back in the day. So long ago already. Okay, 21. Go for 21. 1. 10. 21. You win. Yay. Well played, monsieur. Here's your payout. Shall we have another round? Yep. Absolutely. I don't want to play this too much, but just a little bit. If we can get just a teeny tiny bit more cash, would be cool. I don't know if I can. 10 immediately. 19, I don't think I can go over that. That would be just foolish for me to try to go above 19, I feel like. You win! Yeah, they tried to go over the 19 then, and then they went to 27 even. Yay. Let's not do even more. But at least now we have exactly 150. So that's something, but yeah, we can leave. We got actually very important stuff from here, so I do think that this was a good place to start our investigation from. I would have to say. A good place indeed. Something special in this location. Baron Rockwell resides at Chateau Crinier, an impressive manor house with an immaculate garden. I think so, at least when there's that. I hope it's that location. Like, I have a little bit difficulty, or is it this? No, it's this one. Question mark. Les Cox. Let's check what it says. Cocorico there, ... What a view! You can see the tulip column so clearly from up here. Ah, Cocorico, you're already here. You have news about the croque, monsieur, or is this about the other matter? Here you go, as requested, the full register of those who entered Paris Law School and the full list of graduates. Are they investigating us? And like who we are exactly? Very good, let's take a look. Now could you please tell me what this is about, Inspector? What exactly are you looking for? Look at the list of graduates. Do you see any names you recognize? Well, I see my own class of 1837, and I see that moronic prosecutor Rupert Rappington under the class of 1846. Oh, and there's J.J. Falcon's name under the class of 1832. Very good. Now take a look at this register page from 1829. See anything amiss? ... Well, I don't see J.J.'s name, but I'm not sure quite what that implies, Inspector. The explanation is simple. J.J. Falcon changed his name sometime between 1829 and 1832, right around the time of the July Revolution. I don't think that's involved with us exactly, but... And why would he do that? Why indeed? Monsieur Cocorico, you and I are roosters. We are birds of justice, birds of French national pride. But Falcon, he is a bird of prey. It is in his very nature to draw his talons and lash out at those around him. My God, you're such a mean Volerti. Bad Volerti, very bad. I have no doubt that when the pressure rises, he will show his true colors. I'm not sure if I agree with your personality assessment, Inspector. I have always suspected that JJ was a buffoon, an imbecile, and troglodyte, but never would I describe him as a person of malice. Time will tell. Do you need me to do anything else, Inspector, or shall I continue my investigation into the Croque Monsieur? There is one more thing. Take this. A gun? A pistol? No thank you, Inspector. No thank yous indeed. These are dangerous times. If you face a violent threat, you cannot hope to defend yourself with that riding crop of yours. I'm well aware. I just find that these ghastly things tend to escalate situations rather than mitigate them. That's what everyone says during peacetime. Take it. Thank me when it saves your hide. Fine, I'll keep hold of it. Well, Monsieur Cocorico, you have been most helpful. I'm just doing my duty. Good day, Inspector. Interesting. So that's what it was about indeed. About us. About the fact that we changed our name. I thought as much as sus, considering the fact that it has been sort of alluded to previously too. Okay, let's see. We could visit the library. But we could first try to visit this person we were supposed to get the money from. Or we could go to the church. Which would also be a reasonable idea. Notre Dame Cathedral. It's actually Notre Dame itself. Although it has fallen into disrepair, Notre Dame Cathedral still stands as an icon of the city. Let's go there, sure, why not? Falcon and Sparrowson step into the grand atrium of Notre Dame Cathedral. Scaffolding lines much of the crumbling outer wall. Unperturbed, a handful of devotees are silently kneeled in thought. Here for a little prayer, are we, Falcon? I had no idea you were the religious type. Don't be silly. I'm following up on Fontaine's lead. We must find our mystery friar. Do you think that it's that hunched-over fellow over there? I bet it's him. He looks super suspicious. It could be. Let's show some tact. Whenever you say that let's show some tact, you know Sparrowson ain't gonna be showing some tact, you know? You know this already. Let's have a look into this. A collection of stories from the Bible's Old Testament given to you by Fontaine indeed. Excuse me, Monsieur Friar. ... Do you know what tact is, Sparrowson? A fool. Yeah, this would seem fitting. I think this guy was even the one that talked to our other judge fool before, right? Pretty certain that he was. Freremus. Welcome, my brothers, welcome. Ah, all are welcome under the roof of the house of God. Are you here to confess your sins, or perhaps you wish to join in our services? Actually, Friar, we're here because... Falcon, that friar, he looks eerily familiar. Yes, he does look familiar. Now that you mention it, he does look a little like the guy who delivers our post, doesn't he? Really? What? No, that's not what I meant. And now, how does he look anything like our postman? Am I going mad? That's a good question, Sparrow's son. Your friend appears to be upset. Don't mind him, he's just in a huff because he thinks you look like a judge we once met. Judge Romulus, I get that all the time. I'm his twin brother, you see. Of course you are. Oh, good. I'm not going mad. Friar, would you say that you had a good relationship with Romulus? We were close, but as you may have heard, he got in trouble with the law recently. I haven't seen him in weeks. I see. I didn't mean to pry. It's no trouble, but tell me, why are you here, my brothers? Oh, right. Well, we have a couple of questions. What's with the scaffolding? What's with all the scaffolding in some sort of a... Is it some sort of a construction work going on? That's right, a little repair, a little renovation. I wonder what's the purpose of it though. Could it be something malicious? It's no secret that the cathedral has seen better days. The cult of reason did a lot of damage back in the day of the revolution. But now we are well on our way to restoring this holy place to its former glory. The cult of reason. The religions of Christianity. Hey Falcon, what's the difference between a religion and a cult? Don't be rude, Sparrowson. Ah, don't worry, my brother. I understand how it is. To a young person, all ideologies look like coupled cook in different packaging, don't they? Pretty much. Then maybe you'll come to learn the differences as you grow up. I promise some ideologies are worth following to the very end. Promising. But there's no talk anymore about cults and ideologies. Did you want anything else? Well, could you take a look at this, perhaps? Friar, we have something that we would like to show you. A book of judges. Could you take a look at it? We heard that you could give a special passage reading. Ah, I see. You have your own copy of the Book of Judges. I think you will find chapter 15, verse 2, to be particularly enlightening. Chapter 15, verse 2. Gotcha. Let's see. Chapter 15, verse 2. This chapter follows the journey of Samson, the heroic judge with divine strength. In this part of the scripture, Samson is confronted by the men who are angered by Samson's notion of justice. Please, could you read the passage? Okay, 3,000 men of Judah went to the top of the rock Etam. They said to Samson, Knowest thou not that the Philistines are rulers over us? What is this that thou hast done unto us? And Samson said unto them, As they did unto me, so have I done unto them. As they did unto me, so have I done unto them. A beautiful sentence, wouldn't you agree? Totally. In all honesty, I would wish to say it's barbaric, but I think we'll get future with him if we say it's poetic. It's poetic. It's poetic, a beautiful summation of justice. You understand the passage, that's delightful to hear. Yes, Samson was a great judge. Not a great judge of today who sits on a high chair and flies endless paperwork, but an old judge, a holy judge, a shofet. Shofets were to be admired and feared. They made their own judgments and dispensed their own punishments. I'm starting to ramble, aren't I? Okay, let's get back to the point. The key word to the day is etam. Of the day is etam. But if it's the day, then it will change, right? That's the name of the cave where Samson hit, the rock of Etam. Etam, code it. I'll make a note. It's like a backwards mate. It is, yes. But I'm confused. What do we do with this keyword? That is for you to learn on your own, my brothers. You appear to be intelligent. I am sure that if you put your faith in the right people, you can uncover the truth. We'll see what we can do. Is there anything else I can help you with today? Perhaps you wish to make a confession? That is all. Thank you, sir, brother. I think we're done here. Thank you for your time, friar. Go in peace, my brothers. Intriguing. Well, we did definitely get forward, whatever it exactly means for us, but we did still get forward. Where would we want to go then, though? Where? It's still taking, again, the time nonetheless. I could go and ask him, of course, if he would have any idea of the person, but I kind of wouldn't want to go there yet until I at least have some more ideas or something. Let's go for the fun of it to visit here. It's been a long while since we've been in the Baron Rockwell's residency, and there's at least a maid. Maybe she knows something more than what we could have thought of she knowing. Probably not, but let's just go there for the fun of it. Ah, you there. I remember you. You guys helped me out with this little dilemma. You guys can help me out with this little dilemma. What sort of a dilemma? What is it, mademoiselle? Which country is better, Great Britain or the United States of America? You're planning to be leaving, eh? Which one would I say? I don't think there's a better one. Necessarily depends what you wish. At least Great Britain is closer to France, like if we're leaving right now. So I say Great Britain for sure. Putting aside all prejudices, the British Empire is magnificent. I suspect that it'll continue to prosper for years to come. The USA is still a young nation. Anything could happen to it. You think Britain is the safer option, huh? I suppose it would make for a shorter trip. What is this about, mademoiselle? Well, I'm thinking of taking a trip. A long trip. Everywhere I go in Paris, people are angry and depressed. It's like violence is about to break out at any moment. I've saved up enough, so I'm going to get out of here, follow my dreams of starting a new life overseas. Who's going to look after Chateau Cremier? Well, with the Baron's passing, they have decided to auction off this estate. I think the Tim News were showing some interest in the household, so I guess they can handle the household duties themselves. The Demios, you say? Interesting. Demios? I don't know how to say that. Anyway, this might be the last time we'll see each other, so I'll just say au revoir, Sparrow-san. Au revoir, Monsieur Falcon.
Farewell, mademoiselle. I wish you a pleasant voyage.
So long, mademoiselle. Don't let those limeys push you around. Hey, Falcon, I think we forgot something. The rebels, the Croque Monsieur, all that Jewish investigation stuff, we're supposed to be asking questions.
Oh, right, that completely slipped my mind. It's no matter. Colleen didn't seem like the type to get involved with rebels and arms dealers. She probably knew nothing.
But she did say that she heard all sort of talks all over the place, so she could have heard something somewhere. I suppose, in any case, she seems to be the only one with enough sense to escape before the violence starts.
Yeah.
Well, that's that, I guess. Well, only saw her once, I guess. We could go to Pontes Arts. See if we can find the fisher person, the man that fishes, or the bird that fishes. Sure, why not? Well, if it isn't the rude lawyers. You know, you owe me, big guy.
I owe you.
Well, he did pick us up from the river. Yep, my vision line snapped when I tracked you out of the water the other day. I had to buy a new reel. So the way I see it, you owe me 2 francs for the fishing line and 1 million francs for saving your life.
I don't have 1 million and 2 francs.
Really? But you look so porcous. Alright, I'll tell you what, 2 francs for the line and we'll call it even.
Fine. Fine, here's 2 francs. Consider the gift of gratitude for saving my life.
What's thanks, monsieurs? Now why are you here?
Why are we here? All right, we have some questions. Have you heard of the Croque Monsieur? Have you heard of a man called the Croque Monsieur?
A man called the Croque Monsieur? Nope, doesn't ring any bells. That's a strange name, though. Did the man name himself after the sandwich, or was the sandwich named after him?
I have absolutely no idea.
I can only aspire to have a sandwich named after me one day. There's Sparrow-san. Thick slices of white bread, mayonnaise, cheese, chicken, bacon, slices of sausage, honey glazed ham.
Stop. You'll give us all heart attacks.
How's the fishing then? Maybe you fished something interesting out.
So, got anything good?
Today? Not a keeper. This new fishing line is really good, but I ran out of good bait, so it's practically useless by itself.
That's quite an issue.
So if we were to offer you some bait, would you be able to lend us some line? I guess.
Sparrow-san, why would you even ask that? We don't have any use for fishing line.
Just checking the possibilities. You never know when we might need fishing line in the future.
Why would we ever need fishing line? Actually, don't answer that. You are ridiculous, Sparrow-san.
We probably will need fishing line in something. Maybe I can help you with something else. Not at the moment, at least.
I think we're done. Happy fishing, monsieur.
Bye, monsieur fisherman. Hey, you know I hate being called that. Yeah, but he still did it. He still called you that, even though we all know. Okay, let's do it. Let's go into the Aram Associates and see if they have any idea about it. I don't know if it will be costly or does he want a lot of pay for me asking for his help, but it looks quite different here, Renard. Well, this is most unexpected. Monsieur Falcon, Monsieur Sparrow-san, I believe this is our first time meeting without disguises or pretenses, as it were. Oh, but first things first. Mousy, would you kindly fetch our guests some tea? Oh, of course, Monsieur Wolves, of course. Messieurs, what sort of tea would you like? Chamomile? Darjeeling, maybe?
Darjeeling would be divine. Actually, some Darjeeling would be divine. Thank you, Mousy.
Sure, Darjeeling sounds good to me too. Okay, 1 bottle of charging coming right up.
Let's get down to business. What is it that you two came here for? We just have a couple of questions. Have you heard rumor of an uprising? Monsieur Whoops, have you heard any rumors of an uprising? Of course, these days a man can't walk into a tavern without hearing angry men whispering about violence and revolt. I dare say that Paris may find itself in the midst of yet another revolution before the end of winter. But what can you tell us about the dissenters specifically? Do you know where they are meeting? I'm afraid I only know what you can read in the papers, monsieur. I know anti-government protesters were meeting out in the open until the government clamped down on large public banquets. With the banquets gone, who knows where the dissenters went? I see. Perhaps I can assist you with something else, and have you heard of the Croque-Monsieur? Have you ever heard of a person called the Croque-Monsieur?
And no, we're not talking about the sandwich, unfortunately.
The Croque-Monsieur. Are you referring to the black market salesman? The man who claims to be able to procure anything, no matter how illegal?
Probably yes, considering the situation, so now we at least know about the black market salesman.
Yes, that sounds exactly like the person we're looking for. Do you know him?
Me personally, no monsieur, I just know of his vile reputation.
I see. Then do you have any idea how we can find him?
Meeting the Croque-Monsieur face to face is not easy. The man doesn't make himself known to just anybody after all. ... I know. I shall do a little investigative work of my own. Come back in 3 days and I will tell you where and when you can find the Croque-Monsieur.
That's an enormous help. Thank you so much, Monsieur Whoops.
I guess I should have come here first after all.
Of course, there is a price. A price?
It is just a small fee, a mere 30 francs. Hey, we saved your terrier over the Prince Yuan business. Is this the way to show your gratitude?
Monsieur Whoops, you must understand that this is no personal errand. We are investigating on behalf of king and country.
I'm sure your intentions are noble, Monsieur Falcon, but I am running a business here. A fox has to eat. 30 francs and I guarantee you will find your Croque-Monsieur. That's my final offer. What do you say? Yeah, sure, why not? We got the cash. We even have 100 left after it if we can somehow then collect that cash. Otherwise, we already have even the phrase. So, I do kind of wonder... does he give us all the answers? Or does he just then only give us the location and all that? But still, yeah, I would like to take it. We'll take it.
Here you go, monsieur.
Very good. As I promised, I return in 3 days or later, and I will tell you where the Croque-Monsieur can be found. Rest assured that I will undertake my end of the bargain with care and diligence.
I expect nothing less. Thank you, Monsieur Whoops.
It is my pleasure. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? And that's all.
That's all. Have a pleasant day, Monsieur Whoops.
As to you, messieurs. The tea's ready, Monsieur Whoops. It's ready.
I'm afraid you are too slow, Mousy.
Oh, bother.
Sad times. Tea is too late. We couldn't taste the divine tea.
Sad. Very sad. So where would I want to go then next is the question. Question for the ages. I am kind of tempted to visit the library, but I don't know how much he would know. Let's go and visit the Atelier de Trouve and see where that situation will lead us. Why not? Knock, knock, knock.
Come in. Are you Monsieur Gustave Trouve?
I am, and you are?
Lawyers, let's talk. We are lawyers, and on behalf of Dr. Folward, we are here to collect a debt that you owe.
It's time to pay up, monsieur.
Oh, mon Dieu, I completely forgot about that. Listen, I would be happy to pay, but it looks like I don't quite have enough money on hand.
What to do? What to do? Don't escape.
I know! I have a brand new invention that will blow the doctor's socks off. It's a device that will completely revolutionize the surgical field. I imagine the doctor would prefer a hot gas over some gadget. No, trust me, this baby will easily be worth 10,000 or 100,000 francs. The doctor will love it. Oh, alright, then hand the device over and I'll pass it on to Dr. Velvet straight away.
Don't get... just like... don't do that. What is it like even?
Well, it's not that simple. The device isn't finished yet.
It's not finished?
I know exactly what needs to be done, but I am missing some crucial parts. Perhaps if you had some time to spare, you could help me out. Run out and collect what I need. What? No, monsieur, that's absurd. If you have a shopping to do, then you should do it yourself.
Falcon, please, help the man. I can't spend the rest of my life in debt.
Alright, no need to get all panicky. We'll hear the man out at least.
Great, I'll take note.
What is it that you need, monsieur? Let's see. I need a copper pot. A pot? As in like a saucepan? What on earth for? It's a necessary component of my invention. I can use it to build a portable electric battery.
You see, when a zinc rod is suspended in sulfuric acid accompanied by a copper surface, a current is generated.
Save me your scientific mumbo-jumbo. One metal pot should be trivial to acquire. One copper pot.
It has to be copper pot.
Oh, the copper pot is important. Okay, one copper pot. I wonder where we could find one of those.
I've seen copper kettles at Les Halles Market, although those things aren't too cheap. I can't help but feel that I saw a copper pot somewhere else.
What else? String. High grade string to bind some components of the device together.
Well, a fishing line. That would be it, but we need bait for then the fisherman.
Seems simple enough. I imagine Les Halles Markets would have that in abundance.
Can we really afford to blow our full budget at the market, Falcon? Sure that there's a cheaper way to acquire string. Look, I have loose thread on my jacket. Take it.
The string must be higher quality than that, monsieur. I need something that's a fishing line grade.
Oh, I see.
Was there anything else that you wanted, monsieur? Some books, confectionaries, alcohol, groceries, perhaps?
No, that's everything. Alright, I've got it all written down. Alright.
I feel a little conned. We came here to collect on a debt and left with the shopping list.
Indeed, I do have to admit that we have only 118 francs left, so I'm not really... Well, and if we would want to buy a gun, then that would definitely come expensive. We're going to follow through to get Monsieur Troop's items, right? ...
We'll see.
Oh boy. Then what? Let's see. Unless we visited a lot of places. Now Les Halles takes time, so let's go there, I guess. To visit. See how much all of this would cost, or we could at least get bait somewhere.
Okay, so we need a copper pot and a piece of string. What options do we have?
I see just a spider silverware store.
Too pricey. Let's take it down a notch.
Okay, how about the place over there? Harry Hippopotamus Pottery and Haberdashery. ... That name just rolls off the tongue.
Still too pricey. We're buying for a mad scientist, not for the Queen of England.
What about that little stand, Ruse Odds and Ends? Who visited in the Ruse Odds and Ends? Where did we hear that name before? I know that we... Oh yeah, that's where we got the hat. That's where that one dude got the hat. It could be even related to that rebel activity, maybe. Look, sheep, and I've seen a copper kettle in the back. I can even see.
Now we're talking. Excuse me, madame.
It's them. Wait, those two look familiar.
I recognize you. Weren't you two begging outside Chateau Crinier a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, that was us. Thanks for your generosity, monsieur. We put your money to good use, see? We started the business. At the rules, odds, and ends, we sell everything.
I suppose congratulations are in order. It's no small feat to pull yourself out of the streets in today's economy.
I don't know if it was really that fast or if they just simply already had some cash before.
So, do we get a discount?
A discount?
Well, we need help kickstart your little enterprise. We did help kickstart your little enterprise. I suppose we are investors of sort.
Sorry, monsieurs, no discounts. Give us a donation out of generosity of your hearts. Because you're such nice people. But we can help you out. What is it that you wanted?
May we see your copper kettle? We see a copper kettle on your stall. How much is it?
30 francs. That is kind of a lot, but like... I like you looking. 12 cash more that if we had at least 12 cash more, but we don't at the moment. Fine, I guess we'll take it.
We'll take it. Alright, we'll take it. Here's your money.
And here's your kettle. Pleasure doing business with you, monsieur. Was there anything else?
Do you have any string?
I can ask, but I want fishing line rather than this one. This is starting to get way too expensive.
Do you have any string or fishing line?
Here we go. A nice long reel of strong thread. Looks to be 10 meters or so. Would that work?
I think so. How much?
15 francs.
That's a little steep. 15 francs for string. Come on, that's ridiculous.
It's no ordinary string, messieurs. It's a string with 1,000 uses. You could make a fishing rod. You could fix something that's broken. You could play cat's cradle. You could stitch some clothes with it. You could tie someone up.
Okay, you both made your pitch. It's still too expensive. But it is still too much. Sorry, but there's no way I'm spending 15 francs on a piece of string.
We understand, monsieur. Did you want something else, monsieur?
We are done here. That's all, madame. Thanks for all your help.
Be sure to come back if you forgot anything, monsieur. Come back soon.
Well, I wonder how it would be if we didn't give them any cash. Maybe they would be more expensive, however.